So I'm here with Donna, otherwise known as
Shalom on the Roam.
And she has a YouTube channel, so we'll go ahead and put the link. But we're going to do a tour today of her road trek. So one of the nice things about a road trek or these type of vans is that you can actually go to an RV park and hook up to their water and to their electricity.
Yes. Yeah, and most of the time the road treks were built so well that even campgrounds that are picky about vans or whatever not being older than 10 years, they usually still look nice enough that they'll accept them into their parks. I haven't tried that myself just because I don't need to. But yes, it comes with, it's factory made with electrical hookups as well as water hookup.
So it's a 30 amp, right?
Yes. And that's how I used it in the beginning. Was in campgrounds where I had electricity and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it does also have a built-in air conditioner up here. And
Is that the original one?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And it still works. And you know, some people choose to take it out if they boondock all the time. I choose to keep it because I do come from states where it's hot and humid. And even though I prefer not to go back there to visit just because it's hot and humid or cold and humid or whatever, I do sometimes need it if I'm going back to visit with family or whatever.
Okay. Awesome. Terrific.
The carrier just holds mostly my camp type stuff, like my chair, my little table, my camp stove, things like that. Tires are high load, all-terrain tires, and so they do take me wherever I want to go. I boondock the biggest part of the time, and a lot of times those are really rough roads, and so I'm very thankful to have good tires.
Take a look inside.
All right. We do have double doors here. I mostly just use the single door. We'll just kind of start back here. It can be a dinette, however I leave mine made up as a bed full time. So this is my little cozy cove for the bed.
So this is a queen, I want to say?
No, it's
double?
It's a short, narrow, full. And then back in this corner is my solar stuff. It's my control panel, which is a Renogy and a 1500 watt inverter. I do have 200 watts of solar up top.
Okay, so no generator.
I do have a generator. I don't use it often because people don't like that, and I don't either.
Okay. Well, if you have solar, you don't need a generator. So.
Right. So it's quiet. You stay happy with your neighbors that way. And myself, you know, I don't use up gas that I don't need to be using, and I'm not making a bunch of noise. So I much prefer the solar.
And how do you stay warm?
My covers. I travel where the weather is good.
Okay.
I do usually have cold nights, but I can do just fine down to, I've been as low as 22 degrees at night with no heat.
Okay.
I prefer not to have it quite that cold, but I just use my covers.
Okay.
I've got
nothing special down, anything like that. Just covers,
special.
sleeping bag.
This kind of acts like a sleeping bag, and so when it's colder at night, it is on my bed because it will help hold the heat in. But I also take things off and on through the night as I need or whatever. And
so you layer in your bed just like you layer your clothes when you're out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then this here is called a bread box. I don't know if you can see it. When this was first made, it housed a little TV, a little bitty TV and VCR, because this is a 1997, back in that day. I use it kind of as just my general personal space.
Okay.
Something that's cool that I rarely ever use is this little pull-out thing. It can be used, of course, for your kitchen prep or whatever, or also if you're here in bed, for a laptop or whatever. Again, I really don't use that hardly at all, but it's a neat feature. And
you've got storage up here.
Both of these cabinets I mostly have pantry stuff in them,
Mm-hmm.
but they go quite a ways back, and so sometimes I also store blankets or whatever, maybe in the back if it's summertime and I'm not needing them. But another thing I do with blankets, extra blankets, is under the bed.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you know, that
Hey.
way it's out of the way, and
That's a great idea, actually.
yeah, I can store it that way, and it's just not a bother. And then if I need to pull it out, I can pull it out.
Yeah, I've seen people that put them in pillowcases and, pillow shams. I usually do that, but under
Yeah.
the bed, that's an excellent idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the point to where I don't have to move stuff around
Mm-hmm.
at night or in the day. If I, like this summer, I went ahead and traveled quite a bit, and so I wanted things to be as minimal as possible. I still have a ways to go on that. However, I did get quite a bit out that I had in here before this summer, so that I could pick up and go a lot easier. Because the less you have, the easier it is to do that.
True.
So, or even if you just need to make a trip to town or whatever. So I do like to stay minimal, and I'm still getting as much out as I can.
Right. How long have you been on the road?
A little over 2 years now.
2 years.
Yes.
Okay. So did you just live in a house and then you sold everything, or what was your deciding factor? Were you part-time before and then decided full-time, or did you just go for it?
I've really enjoyed camping since I was about 30 years old, and at one point, probably about 15 to 20 years ago, I sold everything I had then and went out for 6 months.
Okay.
And I just never forgot that. I needed to get back to it. I really enjoyed it. At that time I had my son, so I had to go back to the real world and finish raising him and all that good stuff. But so I've been working on being on the road for many, many years. And I finally made it, a little over 2 years ago.
Nice. Okay. And you have a bathroom in here?
I do.
Do you have a shower?
So this side is just closet space. So I had my dad build some shelves for me. I designed it and he built it for me.
Okay.
So I've been real happy with that. That just
Good.
happened last spring. Okay. On this side, we open it up. But of course, we've got the toilet, and here's my shower. I added extra hose onto it in case I want to use it outside for whatever purpose.
Great idea.
And so it will reach outside. And let me hang that back up.
Okay.
Oh, and I put an extra thing on it to where I can shut the water completely off to save water. And then, so.
Can you control it right from that too?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have
there?
to turn it on at the faucet down there.
Yeah.
But then after that, I can turn it completely on and off.
That's a
with
great
this.
idea, yeah.
And yeah, until I got that was a game changer because it saves so much water.
Yeah, I like that.
And then here is how this works. So
Goes all the way around.
this goes all the way around.
Right. Okay.
And just kind of encircles you.
Yeah.
And then I do.
That's kind of good that they have the fan right there, though.
Yeah. So that's how that works. Is that not cool?
That's very cool. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see that better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
I do, I dry it out good before I put it back away.
Is the pan stored underneath them?
This whole thing from here all the way to here is my shower pan. This is the drain.
So
I've
it's
just
all
got it
sealed.
kind of plugged up so that dust and stuff doesn't get in my tank. I call it my sunken living room, And up in here, I'm 5'10" and a half.
Okay.
And there's just a little bit of room. Use this nice little cookie sheet as a counter space, but it's also my stove.
Good idea.
2-burner stove.
Yeah. That fits perfect on there, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Leave it there full time unless I want to use the stove for some reason.
And is that propane or electric or both?
Propane. I've got built-in propane.
Okay.
And the propane runs my stove, my refrigerator, my hot water tank, and my heater that I don't use. One of the reasons I don't use the heater is it's up under the bed. And that's where storage is. I've got a lot of stuff stored under the bed. I would have to pull it out and find a place for it. I just don't want to mess with that. It can still be set up as a table.
Yeah.
But, that's not necessary for me.
Right.
That's not what that's not how I desire to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people that are full-time in Road Treks that still, they'll get up and they'll make their dinette, make it into a dinette every day. That's not for me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Of course, I have back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
I have the sink. Right here, this is a little window.
Mm-hmm.
I chose not to try to use it as a window because I'm tall. I wouldn't be able to see out of it anyway.
Yeah.
So I just put some things on it to where I can hold spices and such.
Mm-hmm.
Put another little spice rack to hold a little bit more stuff. And
do you like to cook, or are you kind of
I
minimalist
hate to cook.
cooking? Yeah.
I do it because I like to eat a lot of meat. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I will say I do not cook meat in here most of the time. That's one of the reasons why I have an outdoor stove, is because I don't want the grease
Mm-hmm.
and smell in my van. So any meat I do outside. If it's going to splatter, I pretty well do that outside. It did originally have a microwave. Not whenever I got it, the microwave was already gone. I temporarily put in a toaster oven while I was still using it in campgrounds and such. I found that boondocking, I don't ever use it because I'm not plugged in very often. Right now, I am actually plugged in, which is a rarity.
Yeah.
But, so, I took out the toaster oven because I wanted the space. And then I just used cup hooks to to hang little kitchen, stuff.
Yeah, that
And
works.
that kind of keeps it in its place. And,
Yeah.
that works for me. I do, because of the fact that I have a propane fridge, they have to be level. So I have a level
Yeah.
that I can check the level of my fridge.
Okay. And the propane's outside
Yeah,
in
yes,
another
it's-
compartment. We can-
Right,
yeah.
correct. It's built in, so
Yeah.
I wish I could take it off to take it somewhere, to get it filled, but it is built in, and that works out okay.
Yeah. You just drive up and fill it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought I'd show you on both my refrigerator and this closet door.
Okay.
I bought child safety locks,
Mm-hmm.
and this is primarily necessary when I am going on the rough roads,
Yeah.
because both of these can pop open, and it's no fun when I forget the fridge, especially.
Been there, done that.
Then my fridge contents kind of litter up my sunken living room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, something else one modification that I've made is, you'll see there's a chair right here,
Yes.
a seat.
Yes.
This can be used to carry people. I have carried my granddaughter. It has a seat belt.
Mm-hmm.
There was also a seat on this side.
Okay.
I chose to take it out. I put a piece of wood on top and put me a little chest of drawers. I started out with just a real cheapy set that was a 3-drawer, I think, from Walmart. And
These are nice.
I had that for a year and a half, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it sits a little cockeyed, and so it gets a little messed up.
This fits perfect.
Yeah. But I also do secure it in. What I use is, I've got this railing up here.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it because I've got it all covered up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But, and I use the binder clips.
I like the binder clips, too.
Yeah. They are so handy for so many
Did you get
things.
these at IKEA?
I did.
Yeah, I saw those.
I did. Yeah, I know. It looks so junky, but, we got to, we're
yeah.
girls, so we got to store our stuff somewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, they fit perfect there.
So that would have been one of my tips is, if you've got a place to hang,
Yeah.
things like that, that's really great. And yeah, this is, normal things that you would put in a chest of drawers.
And you play ukulele. I have the same daily book.
yes, I love
Yeah,
this-
we'll
I
have
love
to
this
get
book.
together and do that someday.
Actually, I got on the road without my ukulele, and one of the first places that I went was a friend that she had a ukulele, and I started messing around with her ukulele and this book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love that book,
Yeah.
And so for a few weeks after that, I was kind of looking for that book, and I thought, if I find that book, I guess I might get me another ukulele, because my ukulele was in Colorado at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up finding that book, and so I was like, okay, I got to get a ukulele now. So I got a cheaper ukulele. I switched that out. It's now in storage, and my better ukulele is in here. I store it kind of back there, so
yeah,
I'm not going to get it out or anything.
Do you have which one do you have? The concert one, kind of the middle.
Yeah, it's the
middle
concert.
size. Yeah, I like that
middle
size. Yeah.
So.
Well, good.
Yeah, I'm not any good. My friends and I, when I first met them, we started, or maybe not first, but after a while, we started talking about, well, do you play anything? And when they asked me, I said, the ukulele, badly.
Yeah.
And so that was the start of the Badly Band.
Okay.
We never practiced, so we could stay bad. Me and one of my friends, which is Frugal RV Gal, we did start practicing this summer together. And
she's not ukulele though; she's guitar, right?
Yeah. And we sent messages to our other friends in the Badly Band that said, "Okay, here's you a couple of songs. You got to start practicing."
Okay.
So we have a violin player.
Oh.
I think we have one or two that's going to do harmonica. We'll see what it ends up being this winter. Who knows? But,
all right.
You know, we're still bad.
All right, you have to invite me to your little concert. You have to tell me where you guys are boondocked.
Yeah, I don't know. We're bad.
Well, you're Badly Band. I mean, you know.
Yeah, we can
no
live up to the name.
expectations.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so the closet where I took out the hanging part. I do still like having hanging clothes, even though it takes up more room.
Yeah.
And with the Road Track having this nice little railing that you can't see.
I like it.
I put some pipe insulation over the railing, and so this is my hanging closet.
Yeah, so they don't like shift around and stuff.
Right.
That's a great idea.
So I love, you know, having that so that I can see my clothes, and if there's something that I'm not wearing, I can cull it out or whatever. So that's that. And then I have some extra storage in a tote down here. And then
and your seat moves around. Just this one, right?
they both can turn.
They do? Okay.
It's not real easy to turn either one of them.
Yeah.
And so I leave this one turned around full time.
Okay.
All I have to do is if I've got it kind of in a little bit of an upright position, before I leave, I do try to lean it back so that I can see my rearview mirror better.
Right. But you mostly just keep it like this most of the time.
Yeah. I don't, yes.
But you're traveling with somebody.
I also have my drinking water I store just in 1 gallon containers, and they are behind this seat.
Okay.
So, you know, that has a purpose back there, and it's out of the way. I can grab one as I need one. And
this is just windows up here, right?
yes, there are windows up here. I pretty much leave my Reflectix on all the time up there because they do get pretty hot, and since I'm in the desert, it brings in the heat quite a bit, which is good, you know, if it's a colder day or something like that. I do open it up sometimes to bring heat in, but most of the time I want to keep it closed off so it's cooler. And
great.
I do, you know, I've got curtains that...
Now, did you make these yourself?
Nope, they came. The previous owner did add an extra backing into it.
Oh, that's nice.
Those are easy to use. What I actually do most of the time is I do have a window covering that goes on the 2 side windows across the front. It's a white covering from Adco, ADCO.
Okay.
And I really enjoy doing that because it keeps the heat out also. Being on the road, I don't want to go to the laundromat too terribly often. And so sometimes I will wear my clothes for more than one day if it's still clean enough and all that good stuff. But I like to hang it up on here to let it kind of air out and such. And so it gets kind of cluttered up in here in a way, except for it's out of, you know, it's sort of out of the way.
Yeah, it is out of the way.
So that's what I use that for, is to hang up clothes that I've already worn. So between laundry days, while I'm stationary.
Great idea.
Towels, yes. I hang up my towel to dry here, anything like that. And so I love having that.
No, I think that's a great idea. And you have a fan there. And
yeah, I use that while I'm driving mostly, just to circulate the air some more, even though my thankfully my air conditioner still works.
Yeah.
I am so grateful for that.
Have you had any mechanical problems with this?
Not problems. When I first got it, I did have several $1,000s worth of mechanical work done,
Okay.
just to get it up to speed. And I have to get brake work done much more frequently than most people because I think they just didn't put a beefy enough brake system on for this heavy of a conversion. So I have to do that fairly regularly. And the suspension, because of the fact that I boondock and I go off-road
Right.
all the time. And that's just,
Right.
I've had to, in my mind, I've just had to think of that as homeowner's maintenance. For me, the people that I met, that's what makes this so great for me. It's not going to be the case for everybody, but for me, that's what sold it.
Yeah.
Completely.
Wonderful community out there.
I believe it is. And you find, if you find a lot of people that are just willing to help each other and be kind to one another. And, you almost don't meet a stranger when you go to a gathering. Now, when you're just regular camping, you're going to have a lot harder time meeting people because people are doing their own thing. But when you go to a gathering, there's an expectation that you're going to walk around and say, hi, how you doing? At people's campfires or whatever. There's going to be things going on. And I mean, I've even been to gatherings where I can walk around. This is like, I'll use Schoolie Palooza as an example.
Yeah, been to.
That's a really great gathering. It's usually, well, they have them throughout the year, but the one that I knew about is usually in February, usually around Ehrenberg area. I think this year it may be in Parker. But anyway, whenever I went to it, I've only been to it once. I actually only went for a few hours. Yeah. And I just walked around and said, hey, can I do a tour of your bus? And they're like, a lot of them were like, yeah, sure, come on in.
Yeah. They've got some fantastic ones.
Right. And that's how friendly people are at a gathering. That's the expectation. Like I said, not everybody is going to say yes. That's okay. But people do expect to even have those kind of questions. Or people say, if you're walking around, people are going to come up and say, hey, can I join your campfire for a little bit?
But they're always really respectful.
Yes.
And, and it's okay to say no.
Exactly. Exactly. And so that's why I suggest going to some type of gathering. I think my first one was with about 18 women. This was in Arkansas. You can find gatherings anywhere. I went to that. Thankfully, the ladies were just all super friendly, and that was a great time. And then that was in springtime. That fall, I went to another gathering in Colorado, and that one was much bigger. I really enjoyed it. Got a little overwhelmed,
Okay.
And so kind of had to shut down a little bit. And then the next gathering I went to was the van build in Parker in November. And, I made myself stick that one out. Yeah, I'd left the summer one a little early. It was about a 2-week gathering, and I left it a little bit early. But the van build, I'm like going, okay, I'm going to stick this out. And I did, and I was so thankful I did because it ended with a big old Thanksgiving feast. This was pre-COVID.
Nice. Yeah.
This was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And it was the best Thanksgiving I'd ever had. And so, yeah, that's probably my number one tip is to find a gathering, at least one. And so you can kind of get a feel for what the people are like.
This is your community now.
Right. And one thing that me and some of my friends do is we'll call the wintertime the social season, because a lot of people will go to the Quartzsite area of Arizona, which I say the area because it could be anywhere from Lake Havasu down to Yuma and east and west of there.
Correct.
But it's kind of the social season. That's the time when you can find gathering after gathering after gathering and meet people. And
sometimes get together and caravan with them afterwards.
Right. And that was going to be my point. That's where you can find the people, somebody to hang out with, other parts of the year. I don't hang out with just one group of people. I have several groups of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so, through the year, I may be traveling with a few going this way for a while, and then I may be traveling with a few others doing something else. Or we may just camp for a time. So, yeah, I think that's a really good way to get a feel for it before you really take the plunge.
Right. Just join some Facebook groups and get to know some people and just show up and courtside.
Yeah, and get out of your comfort zone. I know for a lot of people who do this lifestyle, a big part of us are actually introverts. And just kind of push yourself a little bit out of that comfort zone and get a little tiny bit of extrovertedness so you can meet people. It doesn't take that much. And like I said, there's a lot of people that are introverts. They understand. Most people, like you were talking about people being respectful, people understand it if you stay in your rig all day long.
Yeah.
Or if you just up and leave, a campfire or whatever. People understand that kind of thing because, as I said, there's a lot of people who just have to take their time and regroup before they can get out in people again.
Yeah.
So
I want to talk a little bit. Why did you choose your name, Shalom on the Roam?
Shalom is a Hebrew word, and it has a lot of meaning. It's most generally used kind of among Israeli people or Hebrew-speaking people is kind of a hello and goodbye,
Shalom,
but the word has a great depth of meaning. It means peace, total contentment.
Okay.
Just, being kind of at one with your surroundings and stuff like that. And so I've known a little smattering of Hebrew for many, many years. And just the first time I heard the word shalom and found the meaning of it and all that, it became an important word in my life. And I've been using shalom in some form or fashion for probably 23 years. I've still got an old AOL email account that has shalom in that. So that's how long I've been using that word, just shalom. And then
and it's spelled just as it sounds,
right? SHALOM. A lot of people do like to say shalom on the road, but I put the M on there, so it's shalom on the roam. So there's a shalom Roam.
Okay, there you go.
So,
Shalom on the Roam.
Yeah.
Check out her YouTube channel.
Thank you so much.
She does a lot of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
You film a lot of your adventures.
Yeah, a lot of what I film is either me and my friends goofing off in camp, or me and my friends goofing off hiking around, or traveling. Like I've got one series that's kind of going on right now from the spring. I took a road trip with my mom, and that was not in my van, but it was still travel related. And so I've, part of the time is my travels from this summer that I'm still working on editing and getting that out there. But then also I've got another series that comes out on Thursdays usually. That's just the road trip with my mom. And we went all over the East. We did 20 states in 1 month.
Wow, that's a lot in 1 month. Okay.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of cool things and really enjoyed that. And so I'm putting that up there to preserve that for myself, and so my mom and her friends can see it.
Oh, nice.
Of course, I love for everybody else to watch it too. And like I said, I think I saw a lot of neat things, and I tried to capture as much of it as I could.
Awesome. Well, I've enjoyed meeting you here and enjoyed your van tour. And you've got a lot of great stuff in here.
Thank you, Travel Grandma.
One more tip.
Okay. A lot of people have probably heard about using a weed sprayer.
Yes.
Well, I found this 1 liter weed sprayer
Okay.
at Dollar General.
Oh.
You just pump it up and, out comes your spray. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have used this to do dishes, to take a shower, including washing my hair.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's got so many uses. I just love this.
All right.
And you know, it's not too heavy to where you can't hold it and do your business. I can set it outside. It'll get warm pretty quick because it's small. Or I can heat up a little water to put in it if I'm wanting to bathe or whatever with it. If I'm just wanting to do a quick shower.
Yeah.
Love that. And then it's got a magnet at the bottom.
Do they make these for other vehicles?
Yeah.
Or will this fit other vehicles?
You put it, I know at that, whenever I ordered it, I've had this for over 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I ordered it, I just put in what type of van it was. And they told me what I needed.
Okay.
And so
That's
it
great.
was just about $35.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps the sun out of the inside of the van, which keeps it much cooler. Also actually protects the rubber on my windshield wipers as well as my dash.
Yeah.
So
That's a great device. Yeah.
that's been a great investment for me.
Yeah.
Because it gives you also the privacy, and for me, you know, like if you have the curtain behind your seats or whatever, that cuts out space.
It does cut out space, and you still get the heat.
Right. And so for me, it opens up the inside, you know, just that much more.
I like that a lot.
So that's something that I've not ever regretted getting.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's more than $35 now,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still probably a good investment, whatever price it is, as long as it's under 60.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that before. That's great. And it's nice that you can order it for any car.
Yeah,
pretty
I don't know
much.
if you can order it for any car.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go to that website, ADCO. Yeah.
Do you ever use your awning or?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
I like it.
I don't use it a whole lot just because a lot of times the places that I'm at, it's fairly windy.
Yeah.
And so, you know, sometimes I'll just use it, I'll pull it out far enough to where it can shade my windows on this side if I'm in the sun in the afternoon on this side.
Yeah.
So it works great for that. And yeah, if I'm in a place where it's calm, then I'll put it out. But I you know, I always put it up before I go back to bed.
Do you have any outdoor tables or anything like that? Is that in your little garage
Yeah,
back there?
I
okay,
keep
so you've
that
got
in my
tables
shed,
and
yes.
you said a stove,
And chairs.
chairs.
Yeah, things like
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What kind of stove do you have?
I have a Coleman 2-burner stove.
Okay.
That uses the little
The propane.
greenies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can also probably have an attachment to hook it up to one of the bigger tanks, but I don't carry the bigger tanks because I just really don't have the space for that.
Yeah, and you said you weren't a cooker, but you cook all your meat outside, so
Yeah. And
that would be
cooking meat
good.
really is not that hard. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to think steak was hard to cook, and then I started doing it. It's like, what's the big fuss? It's not that hard at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, a lot of campgrounds have the grates too.
Oh, yeah.
You can throw it on there,
Yeah.
whatever, cast iron pot.
Yeah.
Do you do cast iron cooking at all?
I've got one small cast iron pan, and so I do use it a lot to cook the meat. So I do enjoy using a cast iron pot.
Yeah. All right. Awesome meeting you, and we'll see you on the road.
Yeah, down the road.